there was one lady on this page, and if you would have seen my reaction to the chapter, you would have known that as soon as I saw this lady, I said that she was making me feel kind of different. And that is the same thing I'm feeling right now amongst all these ladies. So my answer for this really important question is Doll. I mean, the side boob was too easy, right? The side boob was too easy. I think Doll needs some more love. So chapter 1061, we get our first glimpse at Vegapunk. Now, I didn't believe instinctually that this person was Vegapunk, and I'm glad that a lot of people are catching on to this. Judging by how Vegapunk is having multiple bodies throughout the entire island, I wouldn't be surprised if Vegapunk turns into something like Ego the Living Planet. Like, Vegapunk is each individual aspect of this island, whether it be the creatures, the people, the land, the sea, every single part is Vegapunk, and I would like that to go on to be the case because it would make a lot of sense for Vegapunk's character being this person that is so incredibly smart and so ahead of its time that you have them actually being the entire island itself. I think that'd be very, very cool. And especially now we know that Bonnie is going after Vegapunk. Everybody knows Vegapunk. Vegapunk is one of the most notorious people for many, many reasons. One, for being like one of the most smartest people ever in history, knowing the knowledge and the secrets of the devil fruits, seemingly knowing secrets of a lot of the world, and working for the government. So there are so many aspects to Vegapunk's character, a lot more that we don't even know about, that a lot of people would want to go after. If there is now a plot point with the Cross Guild where they're going after bounties on Marines, who's to say that Vegapunk doesn't have a bounty of his own? Like, and how big is this bounty? Like, people know Vegapunk and how notorious Vegapunk is for his knowledge, for what he's done, for working for the government. Who's to say that Vegapunk doesn't have a bounty, and how high is this thing? Because in terms of power, the bounty of Buggies is so ridiculously high, and it doesn't match that next to Luffy's or Law's and Kid's. So surely it's to do with reputation, it's to do with influence, it's to do with knowledge, the notoriety. So I'd imagine that you'd have to have Vegapunk up there as the top tier of the bounties for the Marines. That's just what I'm thinking, but I'm very excited at the prospect of learning more about Vegapunk. Finally finding out more about the devil fruits. It is insane that this far along we are now seeing a reveal for Vegapunk. We're here. We're finally here, guys. It's crazy. And we're going to be finding more about the devil fruits in time. And is Vegapunk just going to be able to say this sort of stuff candidly? And that would be very, very up Oda's alley. To then, we've been building up for this, right? We've been waiting for these reveals for so long. And then you're going to have Vegapunk's like, oh yeah, the devil fruits were made by so-and-so. And yet this is how just to casually say these things without some massive build-up would be right up Oda's alley. So it'd be fun to go and see what knowledge Vegapunk just shares with everybody. And also to see what kind of relationship that Vegapunk's going to have with Frankie. That's really cool. I want to see a tie-up with that storyline. But this is a very exciting time. And I really wanted to go and see what your guys' thoughts were to this chapter, to Vegapunk, and what possibilities there are moving forward for Vegapunk's character. So I'm on the One Piece subreddit to see everyone's theories, their discussions on chapter 1061 onwards. This arc will be short. I don't think the Marines and Vegapunk will be too much of an opposing force. There will most likely be exposition. Vegapunk will shed some light on the devil fruits. Bonnie will reveal what happened at the reverie. I mean, you would think that this arc has to be quite short because we're getting into the final stages of the story. And if we don't hit all of the points that we want to hit very succinctly and very efficiently, we're not going to be able to reach the end point of the story for many, many years, or at least the timeline that Oda has in place. So it has to be short. We have to get straight to the point, figuring out who Vegapunk is, what the details about the fruits are, and also there needs to be this sort of reveal in regards to the fruits, in regards to what Vegapunk knows. That has to make a lot of sense moving forward. I mean, it would be great if Vegapunk says these sorts of things just off-candidly and it really answers all the questions that we want to. But in terms of putting together a story, you need to be able to make sense why they are revealing this information and what sense does it make moving forward. So there needs to be a lot of info that makes sense in this part of the story to lead into the next part. And you can't do all of this sort of stuff with filler. So it needs to be a quite a short arc. I would like to be a lot shorter, especially going through Wano for that many years, and now we're getting into the later stages of the story. Bonnie in the mix I like, because like this person has pointed out, she can go and explain what happened at the Reverie, so I really do appreciate that, and that makes sense, again, filling in the gaps in the story moving forward without jumping into a different scene entirely. I don't know if Vegapunk will be all that hostile. I mean, judging by that first introduction, Vegapunk seems pretty candid, pretty nice, pretty chill, but also that is not the case because we have Bonnie. So Bonnie is going to be on the offensive, Bonnie is going to be on the attack, and maybe what Vegapunk might do is maybe capture her, kind of neutralize her, and then we can go and have this choice be like, what's going on, what is this? And then goes, okay, I'll explain everything when we go back to our lab. Maybe that's a way to move forward because Bonnie is on the offensive. Bonnie wants Vegapunk. Bonnie has unfinished business with Vegapunk. Also, my cat wants to come inside, so I might let my cat in. We've got the special appearance from Miso. Oh wow. Are you gonna help us figure out what Vegapunk is doing? This arc holds so much exciting potential in terms of lore exposition, and for us to see how Oda is going to shape this finale in terms of the full scope that his world building is going to hold. I really appreciate this opening statement. I'm really excited. He's drawn me in. It's likely that we are going to learn a lot more about the million-dollar question on the origins and workings of actual devil fruits, and if Vegapunk has managed to recreate a successful smile-like prototype. But this time with Logia and Paramecia, unlike the failed artificial Zoans from Caesar. So that would be absolutely massive. There's got to be some sort of stuff that Vegapunk has been working on that we don't know about. I mean, all the stuff we know is from Vegapunk, but there's so much stuff that Vegapunk's like, yeah, I'm in the works of this right now, which I think is very, very cool. So I would expect all that stuff to be revealed in this arc. The above might also shed a lot of light on the lingering mystery of the lineage factor. We need to know about the family of D. There has to be some sort of reason, some sort of explanation that maybe Vegapunk can shed some light on. And also with the Lunarians. So with the Lunarians, maybe there is a lineage factor that goes down, and maybe something to go and do with the family of D as well. I think that'd be really cool. Wouldn't that be really, really cool, Miso? Don't you agree? Another idea going around is that the chick that appears at the end of one of Vegapunk's creations looks like Sora, Sanji's mum. So, Oda might potentially be sowing seeds for more exposition on the history of Sanji's mum, and could involve Sanji getting into the spotlight again to some capacity. The Vegapunk chick that we saw at the end of the chapter does look a lot like Sanji's mum, and so if we're led to believe that there's a lot of DNA experiments going on to do with Sanji's family, to do with the Vinsmokes. So that makes a lot of sense to me. Now, this is as tinfoily as it gets, okay? I want to hear it. Let me hear it. But God, do I hope that Oda somehow incorporates, many would disagree, the moon. Yes, I feel that the moon needs to be addressed. The moon, it's been shown from the very start when you had all of the planets and showing how, like, you know, there's moons around, there's so much more outside. You have NL on the moon. There's gonna be some sort of tie-in, you know, the family of D, like the moon D. There's so many theories riding on the moon, and I really want a solid concrete answer, whether it's a yes or no. I need Oda to explain it, but I would love if the moon gets involved. That would be absolutely crazy. Oda is really pedantic with his world building, and something as much on the nose as the existence of space pirates and the stuff that went down in NL's cover story going unaddressed would feel very odd, and that is true. That even if Oda takes as much time to explain and to elaborate on the tiniest details, why wouldn't you do it for something so on the nose and straightforward as showing NL to go to the moon? Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. The name Lunarians itself, on which Sephiroth are based on, Recent observations of people pointing out the ancient weapons being symbolized there, and of course the potential reappearance of NL himself. I want NL back. Bring me back NL. I want the whole community to implode when NL appears on the chapters again. I want to see my boy. I want to see that Eminem looking fucker. I want to see him back. I want to see him with his curly hair. I want to see him going firing lightning bolts. I want to see him rain terror on the seas, or maybe be a cool ally. Either way, I want this boy back in my life, please, and thank you. Just like Sanji's Wanted Alive propelled us to an arc centered towards him, this should be Franky's time to shine with Sunny's image over his name. I'm so glad this is happening because Franky has arguably the one Straw Hat with the least spotlight given in forever. Yeah, ever since Water 7, I feel that there has been a drop off with Franky. I love Franky, and I also like how, you know, back then we got a lot more details into his character, his demeanor, and we've lost a lot of that since then. So when in arcs after that, you have little glimpses of him being like, you know, being this little shady gangster, doing those sorts of other stuff he used to, I really miss it. I really want more focus on Franky. So this would be a great opportunity to focus on Sanji, to focus on Franky, and then when we move forward, we can go and finally focus more on Usopp with Elbaf, because I want that to happen. There are a lot of opportunities to focus on the Straw Hats, but yeah, Franky would be a huge one for me. It'll be interesting to see where Vegapunk draws his inspirations from, and if he has goals unknown to us. Yeah, like, Vegapunk is a genius, right? Vegapunk makes all these sorts of cool stuff. Vegapunk works for the government, but is there a secret motive that Vegapunk is working on under the Marines' noses that they don't know about? That's what I want to know. Like, if Vegapunk is making this stuff for the government, what is Vegapunk making for himself? That's the key question. That's what I want to know. So the motivations for Vegapunk are a massive thing that I want to know from this arc. This right here is a very, very important point. The fact that there is no intro box means 99% that she is not the real Vegapunk. There it is. Every major character that gets introduced, you have your classic intro text box. That is Oda's staple. I don't believe it. I don't believe that is the true Vegapunk. I think Vegapunk will most likely be a brain. or something just ridiculous. Maybe even an island. Maybe the whole island itself. I don't know. But Vegapunk could be an alien. Why haven't we thought about this? And that's why the Marines have kept Vegapunk hidden. Because what if Vegapunk is like one of the original moon people? Why haven't we thought about that? What if Vegapunk is a moon person? And they don't want anyone to know, so they're making them work for the government and keeping them hidden on this island. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section about this chapter, about Vegapunk. What are your expectations for this arc? Let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you all have an awesome day. Take care, and I'll see you all on the next one.